In Manila, Philippines, President Aquino yesterday called on graduates of the state-run University of the Philippines to join in his campaign to remove Ombudsman Mercedes Gutierrez, whom he said has blocked his policy of reform and good governance. In a speech he delivered at UP, he said it has been a tough job for him to clean up the dirt left by his predecessor, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, much less to implement reforms he started because of the Bantay Salakay attitude of the chief anti-graft buster. He said it was simple enough and that his mandate was to bring justice to all with everyone given due process. Arroyo and her relatives and allies have complained that they are being demonized and singled out by the present administration. Aquino admitted that it's not easy to address UP graduates, especially since the Republic of Diliman has a tradition of giving less than warm welcomes to officials of the government. Meanwhile, Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago said yesterday that the impeachment trial of Ombudsman Gutierrez is a race against time, because this must be finished before year-end in order to remain relevant. Gutierrez's term will end in December next year, and so, according to Santiago, her trial should be concluded before the end of this year. The veteran senator cited the country's experience in its first ever impeachment trial involving former President Joseph Estrada, where it took the prosecution 2.5 months to present a portion of their case. The prosecution then never got to finish its presentation of the case because the private lawyers who were assisting them walked out of the proceedings, which eventually led to a mass action and the ouster of the former president. Using the Estrada trial as basis, and assuming that the defense would take the same amount of time to present its own case before the Senate, Santiago noted that this would already take 5 months. There are 6 articles of impeachment that will be heard in the trial of the Ombudsman, and based on the approved rules of the Senate, all 6 would have to be heard first before judgment is made on each of the 6 articles. Santiago noted that there would still be the scheduled break over the course of the trial as stated in the legislative calendar, so these days would have to be added to the computation of the trial period. The defense is also expected to do everything it can to delay the proceedings, which Santiago said is an accepted fact of life. Meanwhile, President Juan Ponce Enrile, who will serve as the presiding officer during the entire impeachment trial, said he would not allow any dilatory tactics from any side during the trial and intends to conclude the proceedings by the end of the year or even earlier. However, a proposed amendment to the rules on impeachment is being pushed by Senator Francis Pangilinan, which Enrile said would definitely cause even more delays to the proceedings if approved. The proposed amendment would pave the way for voting to be made immediately after hearing of each article of impeachment rather than going over all 6 before voting as contained in the present rules. Enrile said he believes that the present rules are already sufficient, but if Pangilinan can get a majority of the members of the Senate to support his proposed amendment, then he has no choice but to consider this. Congress would go on sine die adjournment on June 9th, or the last day of the first regular session of the 15th Congress. It would only be on July 25th that Congress would convene its second regular sessions, and according to Enrile, Congress would be closed and no official activities would be allowed during the period between June 9th and July 24th, including the impeachment trial. Pangilinan, apart from pushing for the amendment to the rules, has also called for the Ombudsman's resignation, something that has drawn criticism from the supporters of Gutierrez and even some of his colleagues in the Senate. Santiago said it would be better for all of her colleagues who will serve as the judges in the impeachment trial to refrain from making any comments on issues that may be raised during the proceedings. She said issuing statements on these matters could raise questions about their motives. Santiago said it would be best to just cleanse their minds of everything that they have heard about the Ombudsman and the issues involving her impeachment and start from zero in order to be impartial or objective during the trial.